everybody, La Riviera here in the middle of New York City with my new friend Heebe.
Hello everyone.
Native American artist,
Yes.
professor.
Yes.
Okay, Heebe, tell us from the beginning, let's go back. Where you're from, where you're coming from, where did you grow up?
I grew up here in New York. I grew up in Long Island for a short while. I came to the city with my mom. She was going to school, so I transitioned with her as she was going to college. And then from there, I grew up in the urban city, being connected with the AICH and other native spaces. As I got older, graduated from high school, I took about 2 years off, and then I moved with my mom to Rhode Island to continue my profession as an artist, but also go to school. And from there, I got my bachelor's degree in art history and anthropology. And then from there, I continued on straight forward with my master's degree in library science and digital engineering. And then after graduating, I landed a job with my internship at the Tomahawk Museum in Rhode Island, along with being a professor at 2 of the colleges, as well as a visiting lecturer for Native American art and understanding outside of colonial concept, which was a curriculum that I designed myself based on my bachelor's and graduate experience. But also on top of that, I teach library science, and I teach college course on a curriculum based on writing, research, and just having general understanding of college life to students, because there's so many college students that get anxiety and quit because they don't know how to formally write a paper that they didn't get those trainings in high school. So I got a lot on my plate right now.
Well, you're just like the smart person here. University of Rhode Island?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And now you're living back home?
Yes.
In Rhode Island?
Yes, I'm still living in Rhode Island because of the job that I landed. Pretty much stationed me there.
Okay. So why are we here? The National Museum of...
This museum was pretty much the birth and understanding of my culture. Working and being a AICH member, we had many functions here. We had many native artists of music, of acting, as well as visual arts that was displayed here. I got a chance to meet a lot of native artists. I remember years and years ago, there was a native cinema, and they had a red carpet right here, and this is where I got a chance to meet 2 of the legends, many legends, but there were legends: Graham Greene, Wes Studi, Irene Badar. There was Heebe-Tee-Tse was a part of it, so it set the foundation for my career as a native artist, as a native to the spirit artist, as well as just a profession in my academics as well, that is possible for natives to be in that space as an artist, as well as be in this academic space as well, and let people know who we are, we still exist, and that we exist in many diverse communities, that looking at one native doesn't shape the whole spectrum of native identity.
So when was the last time you were here in here?
Today.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my God, tell us what's going on in there.
So
right now.
we have some native artists from Mohawk territory. Her name is Heebe-Tee-Tse. She's a Mohawk artist. She's a painter. She is a photographer, multimedia artist.
So what exhibits do they have now?
Well, right now they have a new exhibition by Heebe-Tee-Tse. She is a Mohawk artist. She's a painter, a photographer, and she's also a poet and writer. Like many other Native individuals and artists, we are so diverse in our arts that we just don't stick in one medium. Also with that, we have our Native New Yorker exhibition, which is featuring natives, urban natives, as well as natives indigenous to New York, which is first the Lenape people, as well as the Mohawks, which were more upstate. We have the Shinnecock, which is part of my cultural background, as well as Montauk. Right here, we're in Wall Street. This was the original trade hub amongst the Lenape people. And so this, what you see is the natural grid line of what was already shaped by Native people, that when colonial people came, they just used and pretty much took and stole what was already done here.
As we know the story.
Yes.
So, okay, so this museum is free all the time?
Yes, yes, it's always free, even for special events, concerts, still free to the public. Sometimes there are special events that you may want to have a reservation for to pretty much solidify and guarantee a seat for yourself and your company.
Okay, great. Now, you are an artist as well.
Yes.
I notice you're wearing, I'm assuming these are your pieces.
Yes,
Very beautiful.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God, where is this made
This
of?
is wampum. This is what was used to exchange for other to Native communities. It was also part of exchange as like a written contract. It was also something that was traded even to non-natives, which were colonial people, but they were done in Phantoms of Wampum. But this right here is the whale tail, which is my clan of the Shinnecock people. This is from wampum, which is from the quahog shell, clam shell. It is an actual staple of the community. It is our food source as well as our economic source as well.
Now, did you shape that or was that already shaped like
No, this was shaped purposely into a whale tail. So there's sketching involved, there's etching, and then you do it to your final cuts of the shell itself. And then it is all have to be in a wet process. You can't do this dry like wood. It has to stay wet. If it dries out, it will crack and explode.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a very delicate.
And you do all this?
Yes.
Wow. What
Yes.
about this other piece right here?
This piece was given to me. So this piece is a cedar beads, sometimes also known as ghost beads. This was given to me because this is not part of my culture. This is from the Navajo and other Southwest Native groups. But I keep this close to me because it's special to me. But as you see, this is also wampum as well. This is another way of shaping and fashioning wampum. And this is actually one of the older forms of shaping wampum beads.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you have more
Yes.
of your, let's see. Let's
So
show
this
us what
was,
you're,
I'm here because I
making.
was part of the Governor's Island Artist in Residency through AICH. So I just actually de-assembled my exhibition there because it's ending soon. But I have, these are some of my beadwork. Now beadwork derived from quill work. So this piece is a dance set.
Oh my God, wow.
And you have your barrettes.
Wow.
You have your earrings, your hair ties, and this is a necklace piece.
Oh my God.
And this
is
shape
beautiful.
is the squash blossom, which is very prevalent within our culture. And it
you
is.
did all
Yes.
that detail.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God.
And this is another piece I did. This is considered a side bag or a bandolier bag. And this is on cotton. And you have your beads, 14 karat gold beads. You have clam shells here. And right here is tiny wampum beads all along here. And this is a double floral pattern that I actually designed myself, inspired by other works of art. And my prized possession
Oh,
that
wow.
I did actually on the island are my sneaks. So
Oh, wow.
these are still at a working process, but as you can see, this is the 4-direction pattern and colors. On the other side, it actually represents the Two-Spirit,
Oh, this is so beautiful.
natives of our community.
I love the details. I
Thank
mean, I don't
you.
want to sound like an art critic or anything, but this is like actually very beautiful details.
Thank you.
Right here. The colors.
Thank
are
you so
bright.
much. Yeah, the colors represent Two-Spirit, which also windows the P flag of the LGBTQ community.
Wow. And how did you get into beading? Art
Bead-
form?
Beading came through my mom. It's part of our culture. I saw my mom doing it along with doing drawing, painting, but beading, something about it really caught my eye with the detail and the patience to it. So my mom, she started me out with doing things with one strand to get my fingers and my mind used to the material. After that, I was doing simple projects to get to use of the rhythm of beading. My first beaded pattern was a rosette, which is a circular pattern. And then from there, my mom was like, okay, you know, she didn't really stay on me with the teaching. She just wanted me to get the rhythm and familiar with the materials. After that, I was known as a beader. You know, I have 2 pieces in the RISD Museum in Rhode Island Museum of Art.
Oh, wow.
So I have 2 pieces that they own now, and it's in the archives as well as their exhibition shows. I've won several awards on my beading. I even was awarded 2 grants as the top folk art of the year of my cohort. So, and like I said, here on Governor's Island, that's what people know me for. So when they see my paintings and drawings,
Yeah.
they are actually surprised because they say, oh, I didn't know you knew how to paint or draw, because they see my beadwork
Right.
so much. But sometimes you have to draw out designs before beading. So
Oh, right.
there's always that process.
Like a sketch of what you're
Exactly.
going to be doing.
Yes.
Now, can we know the price for something like this? Obviously, you sell these. Do you
Yes.
have a website or?
Yes, my handle is Color Me Wampum on Facebook as well as Instagram.
What is that again?
Color Me Wampum. So here's the wampum
Okay.
and Color Me Wampum.
Okay, we'll have to put that in the description. But yeah,
But
how much?
a
can
piece
we-
like this would be at least 1,500 to 2,000
Oh, wow.
for a piece.
Yeah.
And that's because I actually use 13 size beads, which are one of the smallest. The smallest is 18 bead size beads. And so these are very intricate, and I use Swarovski crystals that you see in those the little diamond-like shapes. So
Okay.
those are actually Swarovski crystals, and these beads are by the Swarovski company. So that's why. And this is a dance set that someone would wear for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is only on Facebook? Can they find you, or do you have any other social media?
Those are
Where
the
you
only,
show your work. I think.
Yeah, those are the only 2 social media handles, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. So, what about New York City? You're back here now.
Yes.
You've been back for a few weeks or a month.
Yeah,
about
2
now.
months. 2 months.
What do you think about New York City now? 2023.
It took a while for me to get familiar with a lot of things, because when I look at the cityscape, there are a lot of buildings competing with each other when it comes to the height of the building. And, you know, Manhattan, especially Wall Street, Chelsea, do not look the same from when I left. A lot of the buildings were at a decent height, and these were all brick buildings at the time. But now you have the competition with glass and steel, and whatever company wants to build the highest building. But it still has a lot of heart with New York, you know. There's still things I miss that's emotional to it. Not only the conveniency but the art and culture of New York, you know.
Yeah, I think that's always going to
Yes.
remain in New York.
Yes.
Right? Now, art and culture, you're also an artist. Now, as far as art, do you only sketch for your work or do you also sketch for the public?
I do things commission-wise for people with jewelry, accessories. I've done sketches. I've done murals, mainly in Rhode Island. I actually did a piece when I was in college, and it was called Born This Way. And it was a fetal embryo in its second trimester.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I did that was because in the second trimester, the gender is not determined. And so I titled it Born This Way because it was about the LGBTQ community, and I used all the gender symbols that are known at this point. So there were the symbol for male and female, cis male and female, transgender individuals. What is it? There's one called Epstein, which is non-gender individuals. So these are people who are, as the title, born this way. And in our Native community, we say the exact same thing, that this is not a trend. This is not pretty much a lifestyle, because the word lifestyle says something can go out of fashion at any given moment.
You can grow out of it after
Exactly.
a while.
So I'm very careful with using the terminology lifestyle. But I put all these symbols to represent those individuals. And it was actually bought by my college, URI, for the Gender Alliance and Justice Department at URI. And they have it hanging in their main hall. And they also asked me for their meeting and lecture hall to do a mural based on that particular painting.
Wow. Did you already do it, or are you going to
Yes,
do it?
I already did it. You can probably see it at URI, the Gender and Sexual Justice League at URI, which is part of the LGBTQ Student Alliance Center.
Okay. So now, we talked about being Native American and being LGBT. Do those two things combined make you more creative, or how does that work with your art?
I'll say it does make me more creative, because even in the Native community, it speaks of how Two-Spirit people, individuals, are more creative when it comes to writing, when it comes to just surviving, and with their art. A lot of Two-Spirit individuals will do things with their art when telling a Native narrative that non-Two-Spirit people wouldn't think of doing. Even when it comes to basket making or pottery, jewelry making, beading, that a lot of individuals, like women, that will come up to me and look at my work, and it's like, that's so creative. I would have never thought to either put those colors together, that design, or just the way you beaded the pattern to make a certain design. And I feel that as Two-Spirit individuals, our mind and our pattern, our thinking is different than than other individuals.
I think you have more to choose from, or you have two sides to choose from,
and that's
as opposed to just one. You know.
Yes.
So you're talking about Two-Spirit.
Yes.
You consider yourself Two-Spirit,
Yes.
and what is Two-Spirit exactly?
Two-Spirit is an individual who has the spirit of both male and female energy, and they know how to combine and work with those two type of energies and a balance. Now, with Two-Spirit individuals, with our ancestors, we were the spiritualists in our groups. We were able to be in women's circles as well as male circles. Now, we didn't exchange what was said and what, like gossip, but we were there as the mediators to know how to put balance if they felt something was a little bit off or they felt something was challenging from one group to the other. We also partook in naming ceremonies, and we also were the first American adoption and foster care. You know, we took in a lot of children, and we still do to this day. You know, there are known Two-Spirit people that will adopt a family member or someone not related, but they can give that same love as their parents, and sometimes even better.
Okay. So, I kind of know the answer real quick, but Two-Spirit is not transgender, right? It's
not
just
solely transgender.
Right.
So when you say Two-Spirit, it doesn't automatically mean a person wants to transition. It's just that term is for the transgender community in the Native community,
right,
as well as cisgender males and females that are Two-Spirit who don't.
Yeah, it's about the energies. I understand. It's like the feminine energy, the masculine energy, both in one person. I think everybody has those, but some people, you know, flourish them both at the same time, whereas others are more masculine than feminine, you know. So yeah, I understand that. Lastly, we want to talk about your coming to New York City. Like, you're from Long Island, but when you first came to New York City, Manhattan, how old were you, and what did you think? What was your experience?
I believe I was around 12 or 15 years old, and I remember me and my mom came here, and we went through, you know, Long Island Railroad, and then somehow I think we went through Port Authorities, and the first kind of, I would say, odd encounter was this young lady. She was with a male, and we were going down the escalator. She was coming up, and she said, "Jesus loved you." And she looked us dead in the eye. She said, "You know, Jesus loved you." And I just thought that was so funny, that funny moment. And she was very serene about it. You know, I wouldn't say she was off a rocker or anything. She just
preachy.
Right. She wasn't one of those. She just felt she had something to say towards us. And just the energy of Port Authorities and Times Square is, you know, it's not like it is now. You know, it is cleaned up a little bit more and everything, but I appreciated that grit and that grind of New York. But it was very energetic when we got here. My mom was excited to be here. I was equally excited and everything. I was heartbroken when we ended up moving to Rhode Island because I just didn't understand why. But, you know, some good came out of it. I was able to go to school and everything. But I'm always, no matter where I roam, New York is always my home.
Wow, yeah, this is amazing. I mean, who doesn't love New York? Even right now, it's not the best New York. But you can still find, you know, your places, your little areas where it's safe, where it's nice, where it's classic, iconic. I mean, we're here in Wall Street. We're very close to the Lady Liberty, you know. So this is New York. Cameraman, show us more of the city. Let's walk down a little bit more. All right, Heebe, thank you so much for being on La Riviera on MNN. So good talking to you.
Oh, you as well. This was lovely.
Lastly, your socials, any other socials you have where people can find you.
My name again is Heebe-Tee-Tse Lee. I am Shinnecock, Narragansett, Two-Spirit artist. You can catch me on Facebook. Color Me Wampum is my handle, as well as Instagram is my handle. You can see my work as well as know a little bit more about me as a beater, as an artist, as a professor in the academic world. I also offer a lot of feedback for students, new students that are in college or going to college. So, you know, don't be shy. Hit me up, whether it's for academia or the arts. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Until next time.